Hello everyone. I'd like to talk about this article. It just says work, but the original title I believe was For Your Own Sake, Stop Working So Hard. That's a much more helpful title, of course, but I'd like to make things tricky, so maybe you had this one. As always with most of these videos, I think it's a good idea to open up your PDF files so you can see these yourself and you can look at them. You can pause this video anytime you want and just flip over to them. You can of course pause this video and take a look at some of the things I've written on the side. I'm not going to go through all of them, but you should be able to read them. I think my handwriting isn't terrible here. I wrote my main idea and the details here down. Let's talk about this one. Okay, work. Paragraphs 1, 2, and 3. What do you think you might call them? Pause it for a second, think about it. I would call this basically kind of like an introduction. There's a couple stories about a couple people that are having some difficulty, that are working a lot even though they like their job, but they're still thinking of going to a different job. This is just to get their attention. It's like an introduction basically. Then we start talking about here in paragraph 4 about how we're working more than other people. Paragraph 5, I wrote this down as a main supporting detail, has to do with productivity. We see but again here. We're very productive now, but someone's getting rich off of it, but it is not the American worker. They say down later that it's basically these companies. In paragraph 7, that's one of my main supporting details that's related to paragraph 5. Long hours, it's about corporate greed. Here it is, right here. But the crisis is not due to poor productivity. Again, we see but. U.S. workers' productivity is at an all-time high. Neither, which is also another one of these negative words, kind of like attention word like but, neither is it a crisis in corporate profitability because companies are making a lot of money. It is arguably a crisis in corporate greed. He basically thinks the companies are greedy. And that's what I wrote on the side. That's that main first supporting detail that comes from paragraphs 5 and 7. The actual main idea doesn't get introduced really until the end of paragraph 8, where the author says this: so a good place to start applying the brakes on this runaway train, and the runaway train is the system right now, all this work and work and work. So a good place to start would be by making sure that we don't have to kill ourselves at work just to make a living. And what does he mean kill ourselves? Well, it means this: a wide-scale reduction in work hours. And then from paragraphs 9, 10, and 11, basically he talks about why we should reduce the number of work hours. I didn't write main idea here, but the author's main idea is basically this: we should cut down the number of hours worked, that we work. And basically paragraphs 9, 10, and 11 support that. Yeah, so what I have here, the author believes there are many strong reasons to cut the hours that American works. All those reasons are basically right in here, plus the part on the first main supporting detail about why we have these long hours. So this one's a little interesting. This one didn't do the typical thing that you see in many articles where somewhere close to the beginning they have the main idea listed. This one's actually towards the end. It's a different sort of a format where it's basically here: I think we should reduce the number of hours. And the author gives a bunch of different reasons. Less hours at work means more jobs for people. Less hours is great for our health and the planet too. Less hours equals less money but more family time, I wrote here. That's basically what I kind of listed here. So I thought this was a pretty good article, an interesting one. This last paragraph of course makes it so much clearer. So very clear. With so much to gain, we need to cut work hours while there's still time. Well, the author just basically said it. Okay, well, anyways, I hope you enjoyed that article. Again, it has a little different format. The main idea was basically said here and restated again at the end. But it was very, very late in this one. And sometimes it's going to be that way. They're not always the exact same pattern. Take care. Hope you enjoyed it.